Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It is an At the Buzzer episode. It's been a minute, but seeing as how I dropped a career video today, thank you for the views, by the way. That's great. We did 7 views in 3 hours, which is not very big, but for this channel, it's something. And
Every
with me, as always,
everybody
is my
counts.
co-pilot. Everything helps. And with me, as always, playing hurt as he would anyway, is my co-pilot G, the beastro of basketball knowledge. I bet you haven't heard that in a minute.
Yeah, true.
And
Been
and
called other things in a minute, but not that. So we'll take it.
and we're dining on your knowledge today, G. How you doing, brother?
Hey, man, doing good. It's always refreshing to be in podcast mode a little bit and try to stir up some NBA and NCAA too type content because I just can't get enough. And sometimes I'm watching TV and I'm like, we're better than that. We could, if you gave us a budget, we could do better than that. Like this is just, and so this is an opportunity to be in the playground and test out some of that in my head. But this is a good time of year for basketball, brother. So this is perfect time.
It's a great time of year. The first four just ended. I have a question for you that's been bugging me for the last couple of NCAA seasons, and we'll get right into this. What do you think about the number 11 seeds having to play their way in? I'm not a fan of that.
I actually didn't know that was a thing. I guess I'm
Because four of the teams are 16 seeds, right? Two of the 16s have to play their way in. But they also have 11 seeds that have to play their way in to the tournament, and I'm just confused as to why that would be. If you're in the top, my argument being is if you're in the top 64, you should automatically just get a bid. That's how I look at it anyway. That's just me though.
the
I don't know. What do you think
formulas,
about
all the
that?
politics, man. I've been trying to understand the whole bracketology forever, and I'm probably further behind in my knowledge than when I started because it's so confusing. It's like
Yes, and that's why I don't fill out a bracket.
oh
But
no,
my
we got to get you
argument,
filling out something, or at least get a final four from you before.
we'll get to that. We'll get to a final four if you want one. Um,
Oh yeah.
it's going to be mostly Chug because I believe the NIL has destroyed the Cinderella. I don't know what your thoughts are on that,
Let me
but
tell you right now, just on a quick note, you can never destroy the Cinderella because that's the whole point
that's
of the
the magic.
Cinderella, right? It's like you're not supposed to be expected to win. You're supposed to have zero chance. And then out of nowhere, Venezuela and Suarez comes and cracks one out of Miami, and it's on. Ooh, what a game last night.
That was a great World Baseball Classic game, was it not?
Mm-hmm. And
And
not that they're a Cinderella story, but that's the kind of energy I love is
that's why we love sport, man. That's why we love sport in general.
the pride of for people that going through that, it was oh yeah, I love a good thing like that. So it's NCAA has the same energy. Coach K was on McAfee this morning being
And
like,
you never want to
this is
lose
it.
that, do you?
No, because
You never
every
want to
game is
lose
the
that
game of
feeling.
your life in this tournament. It's like this is the game. Every single game for any of those guys
And
is the game of their life. So we're
and
witnessing just moments after moments after moments. It's amazing.
and you got Sister Mary Jane from Chicago Loyola who had their miracle run. We had the Aura last season that we did a podcast on during their miracle run.
Yo,
We
okay, yeah.
the March Madness to me is about the story, right? You
Heck
gotta
yeah.
have a story going into March Madness.
I got one for you right now before I forget it because this comes from my buddy Ethan is riding in a cab and he's getting home from work and this cab driver's just yapping and he goes, my nephew he's a great basketball player, he's a great basketball player. And he's like, right on, dude. Ethan's got the long hair
Yeah,
Stevie Ray
yeah.
Vaughan has, so he's not really sure why this guy's saying that to him, but he goes, no, I'm telling you, man, he's really good. He's playing with one of the top colleges in the United States right now. And I just got back from watching a game, got to see courtside and stuff. And it's like, oh, wow, man, that's great. You're so proud of your nephew and stuff. And so Ethan said you should look him up. His name is Ishan Sharma. He's from Milton, Ontario, and he's currently playing on St. Louis. And he was killing it early in the year and still is. And he's the second Indo-Canadian to play at that level.
Like they make the tournament.
They are 8 versus 9, I think. And
so
this cab driver is probably losing his mind. Can you imagine?
Because now I got something to root for. Now,
absolutely.
No,
that is local as local gets. Like this is the dude
from
the cab.
The story, dude. That's the magic of the NCAA tournament, right? To me, personally.
Well, imagine if this happens. They have a huge game and they upset whoever it is that they're playing, and he has a starring game. Man, if we could get that guy on an interview or story, what a cool connection would be. It would be like, we met your uncle. We know. And he told us that you were something to check out. And that's what it's all about.
And that's what it's all about. That's the one thing I absolutely love the tournament. And you know what?
So now you got a guy to watch too. Yeah.
I have big plans for the channel in the next little while. But I wanted to kick it off with the career video, which I've been trying to do for 2 years, as you know.
Hey, brother.
And it finally got done today.
Is that not a good feeling?
That's a good feeling because now I'm moving. Like I have the Tim Duncan script ready to go, and we'll get that to you on Thursday because this will drop tomorrow morning. But
yeah, man, I feel like life is sometimes you're learning how to skate, you're trying to figure it out, and you can't get anywhere, and then finally you get it, and big strides are just, whew, this used to take me so long to try to get to blue line, and now you got some edge on the skate, you know, and it's that's a really good feeling.
And here's the thing, one more thing before we wrap up the whole March Madness thing. Because I will give you a final
March Madness. I'm going to keep hammering that all the way through. But for the main topic,
no. That for off the top of the show, I'll just say it that way. I got Duke winning the whole thing. That might be a biased opinion, but they are number 1 in the nation, and I am a Duke. Full disclosure, my Blue Devil pride is going to come through here. But I've got Duke winning the whole tournament. I don't fill out a bracket.
Shot as anybody.
I don't fill out a bracket because of the things you mentioned earlier. Like there's so much politics, and people. I just got to say this one time: don't take your brackets too seriously. You're not gonna pick 35, 36 games in a row, whatever it is. And if you can do it, more power to you.
There's some people that have mastered the science of it, which I'm like, how is there a science to it? But
there isn't really a science to basketball.
Nor predicting these things, but
because look, I'll give you an example. Denver should have beat us the other night. # Lakers fan club president. But Denver should have beat us the other night. But Austin luckily got his own rebound and sunk it and took us to overtime. And Luka hit a game-winning shot that he probably should have missed. And you can't account for a science in that. That's just right place, right time, right moment, right situation.
Being who you are, right? He was just being Luka.
And you can say that everything that happened up to that point was science. But there's no science. If there was a scientific formula to sport, it wouldn't be as fun.
Absolutely. And I think that's what we notice when Moneyball and those things and like over analytics of NBA takes over. It doesn't work well enough to justify how much people do it. So I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. And would you want to take the fun out of sport? Like, really?
It always is weird. It's like, why are you trying to beat the sport? You know what I mean? Like if we just go faster threes. Yeah.
Like I'll go back to what I said to you the other day. During the regular season, I'm gonna be like, Denver's gonna be a tough matchup. Denver will take them to 6, maybe 7 games, and we might be overmatched. But come game 1 of that Western semifinal or the Western whatever, if we're playing Denver, you best believe my Laker pride is going to come through, and I'll be like, I never said that. Even though it's on tape, I'll be like, that was a different dude.
That was the
Because
analytic Mo. Yeah.
because at some point your fandom takes over, and guess what? It's allowed to happen.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. It's
It's
the whole
allowed to
point.
happen. As much as we bag on the Raptors, for example, and I'll take it away from the Lakers for a sec. As much as we bag on the Raptors, if the Raptors go up 2-0 in a playoff series, you and I are going to be like, "Oh, it's time to roll. Let's do it." You
This is
know.
where I'm not so sure I agree with you, Mo.
Oh,
I don't know.
you didn't.
I don't know if I'm coming home. I don't know if I'm coming home.
Oh, perfect segue because somebody is coming home,
Mm.
and we found this out earlier this week thanks to Shams on ESPN. We're getting an expansion team in Las Vegas, but here's the other big one. Do you want to take this or do you want me to say it? I'm cool either way.
Well, actually, yeah, this is the biggest news I think probably we could be talking about. So,
Take it, G.
well,
Take it.
Seattle, man, Seattle's is potentially the Supersonics coming back. Unless something crazy happens, all systems are a go, and that means a new. And for people that don't have a what is
Attachment.
it? Yeah, so like a samurai that's lost his shogun. He's just this wandering samurai. He's not fighting for anybody particular, no kingdom. Those types can suddenly maybe jump onto this Seattle thing and be like, "This is my team now." And
This
I'm
is your
kind of
home.
leaning. I'm leaning towards that, depending how the management and things flesh out, because they're much closer than Toronto, and it's a clean slate type of feeling to get in on the ground
It
floor with
is,
a team. So
and
with
and you'd look
history.
good in that Sonic green, right?
Hey man,
That's
I'm
the
wearing
whole thing.
wearing green right now. Or I got Gary Payton on the wall. We're ready to go. There's
That reminds me of the Seinfeld episode when he's like, "I'd be more offended if somebody gave me the toe." You know how hard it is to give somebody the toe. I'm
I
sorry,
don't
I
even
just
remember
thought
that
about that
line.
now, just randomly.
I don't even know that line. That's just it's the see. Oh man, quick supersonic story. Before they left, I was able to go down and see a game. I was on a basketball club team, high school thing with a buddy whose dad played on the German national team against Michael Jordan. He was on that team, so he knew Dirk Nowitzki decently and would get occasional back passes and things like that. So me, my buddy Jordan, and Kevin, who was the German dude, went down to Seattle, got to meet the whole like everybody in the tunnel after the game. We got a couple shots up on the hoops. I got a photo with Dirk, a photo with Mark Cuban, Jerry Stackhouse, Jason Terry, the guy from Space Jam. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
Bradley,
saying?
Sean Bradley.
Sean
Yeah,
Bradley. And it was one. I kind of forgot about it to this moment, but like I've got a framed picture, all that stuff. It was a heck of a moment. And Seattle, they got my heart just from that alone. And man, can you imagine if we are sitting here talking Supersonics in a year or two? That would be
I don't want to get Dennis's hopes up because you remember during the Seahawks stream, he's like, the Sonics aren't coming back, boys.
at this
Uh,
point. It's too far ahead,
I,
right? Like it's
I,
too much
I,
investment.
it's too much investment. Dennis, I know you probably won't watch this until the Sonics are actually in the league.
Mm.
But I believe the Sonics are coming back, brother. That's what I'm gonna say. And
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 yeah,
if you have a Seattle basketball team, they better come back as the Supersonics. Let me tell you that right now. If they do not come back as the Seattle Supersonics,
don't come back.
um,
Just don't come back.
that wouldn't be right. That wouldn't be
No.
right.
Oh, and just think how much extra work that is. That's like saying no to money, right? Because it's like you already got the branding done. It's already killer. Nobody
It's
says no to
done for
money.
you.
Yeah. So that'll be
And
so exciting, man. It's just the whole idea of expansion is maybe the bigger topic that
is it
I'm
okay?
thinking about a little bit, you
Here's
know.
another thing. Here's another thing because I worry about this in hockey as well because I think they're going too far. but we'll keep it in the basketball realm as we're at the buzzer here.
Hmm.
32 teams. Is that where you want to draw the line? Is that
Draymond
kind of where
Green
we're
got on
going?
his podcast, right? So he
Huh?
hadn't been doing Draymond Green hasn't been doing his podcast for a while, but he just came
Oh,
back
what a
and did.
shame for the public.
I know.
What an absolute shame for the public.
He finally got my letter. Come on, Draymond, come on back. And he came back and said, we don't have enough talent to make expansion worth it. There's such a lack of talent right now. There's no way you could justify that. I don't think he's wrong in what he's saying of like how he's seeing it.
No,
Like, did you see the Bulls
I
tonight? Did you see
I
the
hate
Nets tonight?
you're gonna make me say it, aren't you? I agree with Draymond Green on that
Boom,
point.
there it is. Boom.
Just clip that right
we,
there. Just clip that right there. I
we
agree with
got it.
Draymond Green.
Oh,
But
yeah. Yeah.
but at the same time, as a business, and I'm talking the business of basketball here, Shams is reporting earlier this week. I might have changed by now, but I'm saying Shams earlier this week reported anywhere from $7 to $10 billion as you get your Doctor Evil piece out there. And who
Absolutely.
says no to $7 to $10 billion as an expansion fee? I agree with Draymond Green that there isn't enough talent because it's watered down already. And I
It's
don't think
gotten
that's
bad the last
controversial.
2 years. And maybe that's a cap thing. Maybe that's just a buy-in
No,
thing.
it's a
But
bad management thing. It's a bad management thing because, and all
agreed.
apologies to the following fan bases, but Washington, Charlotte, New Orleans, um, Sacramento. Am I forgetting anybody? Even Chicago. Even
Chicago,
Chicago. I'll even throw Chicago in there.
New Orleans.
Apologies, apologies to these fan bases, but you guys have been at the bottom of the league forever. If it wasn't for the play in, the Bulls wouldn't have been in for the last 3 seasons. The play in makes you artificially relevant, and this was my argument against the play in to begin with. But there is not enough talent to support two more teams in the NBA. But could you say no to a blank check of $7 to $10 billion? Take it away, G.
Well, distributed amongst the owners makes that 30 divided by 8 bill or 10 bill make it easy. Yeah, they're all getting hundreds of no, not yeah,
Three
they're all getting
million G,
100
or 300
300
million. Sorry, I was a little bit
right.
off there. Just
I
a
don't
bit.
even let's just assume that it's more money than they've made probably in a season or two just in one chunk for doing nothing. And as an NBA team like Washington or whatever, what do you care if the talent is watered down and you have a team in Seattle if you're getting a big check for
Because you
doing
can't
nothing?
compete.
But I think that's not part of their business plan. And Mark Cuban, as much as I appreciate his meeting us and being a rad dude, he kind of said the quiet part out loud, like, oh, it's not really about winning when you're not in a high level team. It's all just about entertaining the fans. I'm like, that's wrestling. That's not what sports is.
And that's why I love wrestling. Because it's
Yeah,
all about entertaining me. But
yeah.
that's not what the NBA is.
No, the
And
entertainment comes from the sport.
I go back to Josh Donaldson when he used to play for the Blue Jays. And he said it best. This isn't the try hard league. This is the get it done league. You know why I yell and scream at my TV? Because I expect the Lakers to win. I expect. I'm sorry, maybe I'm a spoiled royalty blue blood NBA kid, but that goes all the way back to Magic Johnson. And for you youngsters, go back and watch the Magic highlights. But at the same time, I expect the Lakers to win every night. And that's what I mean. When I say Denver could beat us in a playoff series, that's rational thinking. But you know me, G. I never predict the Lakers loss.
Mm-mm.
I
No,
never go into a game thinking we're gonna lose. I expect the Lakers to play well. And I get really disappointed when they don't. So the fact that you're sitting here telling me, and I'm directing this at Mark Cuban, not necessarily G. G just happens to be in the room with me. Mark, the most entertaining thing you can do for your fans, win a ball game, brother. That's what it's all about. I don't care if you think, oh, they're entertained as long as we keep it close. No, they're entertained if you win.
And man, and that's what he was saying. Like it's good to tank because then you have a chance to win the next year or the next year, as if that could change your fortune, right?
Let me
He's a
let
strong believer that that's the only way a team
let
can get truly better
let
is
me
if you
throw a
get.
name at you. Anthony Bennett, ring a bell? Remember the Cavalier, or was it Anthony Bennett? I don't even know, but it was Bennett anyway. Cleveland drafted him number one overall. He did absolutely nothing. Tanking gets you nowhere. Tanking, what? Go ask Philly what the process is all about.
And his argument would be like, well, I'm not saying it's the you're guaranteed to get better. He goes, it's the only way that you're going to have a chance to get, like, you have to find the suit, like you have to take a few shots, but you got to find the guy that you can build around and rally around. And once you get one of those guys,
You know what?
his view,
You know what my response to that would be? Ask Zion Williamson how that's working out for him in New Orleans.
well, how many chips do the two guys that were just, supposed to be the next comings of, like Trae Young versus Luka Doncic? Obviously, Luka's in
They got none.
but they're both in the exact same amount of championships, and that's a long time since Luka got drafted to be
That's right. Luke will be about
to.
28 years old this year.
That's a lot of building up to something and then trading him and all that controversy and stuff. But again, because they were going for their new guy, let's build around this new guy rather than try to iron out what's wrong with this picture. And I think it's just a bad way to go about business, but he's not probably wrong in some ways. He's just coming
I
from a
believe he
place of,
is.
I think he's wrong
I,
in the
I
sense that it doesn't, like, I don't think it
I've
works.
watched
You
I've
know?
watched basketball for about 35 years. Losing is not the because it's not just about the draft pick. You know what it is? It's your culture. If you accept the culture of losing, then
Mm-hmm.
you accept the culture of mediocrity, and your fans will not be entertained by mediocrity. You know why I go into every game expecting the Lakers to win? Because that's what the expectation is. We will win basketball games, and if we can't, we're going to figure out how to do it.
Mm-hmm. OKC seems to be just the poster child for me of how to do it right. Is okay, we didn't have to draft the guy. We just had to wait for somebody to not be looking clearly enough to see that they had the guy.
They
Right.
had
That's
the
all
guy.
we, like McCain. That's another perfect example. It's like we didn't need to wait to draft this guy next year who might be good. Da da da. They looked at McCain and went, he was going to be rookie of the year last year. And then Nick Nurse and Embiid bullied him and didn't give him the ball, and so he stopped playing. And they just went, "Oh, how about instead of a draft pick, we just grab that guy and see how he does in our environment?" Oh, 20 points, this, that. Shay's
That's
losing
why
his
it's bad
mind. He's like,
management. That's why I say bad management because these teams that I'm talking about, the Bulls ain't been relevant since Jordan retired.
no, yeah, I
Charlotte
mean,
hasn't been relevant since Larry Johnson, since Grandma Ma.
hey,
Okay, I'm not
Charlotte's got
telling
one
tales.
thing going for them, and it's that announcer that just, oh, he loses his mind every game, and it kills me, man. The Charlotte announcer is maybe my favorite thing about that
You know
entire
who that
franchise.
reminds me of? You know who that reminds me of?
Mm,
Remember when Schwartzky was with the expansion Raptors?
mm.
Okay, and you knew the Raptors were probably going to get blown out every night. But Schwartzky had this ability on the microphone. If you just tuned in for the 5 minute pregame, like the Raptors are this, and this, Schwartzky had the ability to make you believe, oh, we're playing the Celtics tonight, and they're favored by 15, but the Raptors could still come out and he made you believe the Raptors could win every night. Did they win every night? Heck no. They were still 21 and 61 or whatever it is. But the ability to have you believe is something different than the ability to win.
Mm. Well said. Well said. And that's maybe what you're holding on to in those early days of franchise, waiting to see what happens, because we're not expecting everything to happen overnight, but you want to build culture that people want to believe in. They want to see you succeed, and that's kind of what you should build on. Not, hey, wait till we get the perfect car, then watch me drive.
Yeah, see, and I think, and with all due respect to great Matty D, because I love Matty D,
Ah,
but
consummate professional.
when Schwartzky went home to Chicago, the Raptors lost something that was very important to them,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Oh, big time,
But
man. Hey, we might even run into that legend himself this summer if we are hanging around the Bandits, the Vancouver Bandits arena there long enough. I'm pretty sure he was courtside last year with one of the TSN anchors doing the playoffs. And if you could get a photo or a quick word with
that's
him and tell
possible.
him what you just told me, I think he would be moved. I think he would be legitimately moved.
I love
Yeah.
Chuck Schwartzky, and I hope he gets to see this, honestly.
Hey man, you might get to tell him in person.
But and can I do a quick promo here? And this is not sponsored at all, everybody. By the
Hey,
way, like and subscribe the video. But
we're now
anyways,
accepting crypto, by the way, right? We're
we're
accepting.
now accepting crypto. Why not? But all jokes aside, if you are anywhere near the Langley Event Center when the Bandits play basketball, do
Or even
yourself a
this.
favor.
Yeah.
Do yourself a favor. If you are anywhere near the Langley Event Center this summer when the Bandits have a home game, go have some fun. It's
Put on
affordable.
your bandit
It's
mask and get out there.
it's family friendly. It's great entertainment, and
Yeah.
that's a free plug for the Bandits there.
And
How do
speaking
you
of
like that?
I like it, man, because that's a team that I'm like, no, we're baked in. We can't just with Toronto. It's been a long time since I've been to Toronto. I was born near there and raised there, but I'm not feeling like that's my home. So Vancouver Bandits is a team that no matter how bad things got, which they've been winning tons all the time, but they're a team that you got to stay loyal to because they're literally just down the street, right? They're right here in Langley, and the all native basketball tournament is going on right now. And I saw just how many teams, and I saw the New Hawk teams in there, and I can't imagine what kind of big event. I'm hoping maybe I could take a peek this week, but
By the
shout
way,
out to all the families making the trip.
shout out to all the junior all native teams that have gone out there to represent your nations. Good luck to everybody. I'm not just going to single that out to my nation, but to everybody. Uh, To honor the game of basketball with our heritage and culture is
Mm,
something that I don't take for granted. I don't get out to the Jant very often. We had plans this year to be together. Obviously, things fell through. That's all right. We'll get to the Bandits in the summer. But I want to give that shout
mm,
out to each and every player, parent,
mm,
volunteer, helper that makes that tournament happen. Jant, if you're anywhere in Langley while this tournament is going on, again, go support the youngsters. They could really use it. And I got one more shout out. Well, we're in the shout out portion of the show.
mhm.
Uh, the high school Lady Exalta Thunder are the BC 1A provincial champions
Wow.
from the New Hulk territory, which is where I was born and raised.
Yo.
And I couldn't be prouder of that. So Exalta Thunder ladies, high school provincial
Oh,
1A
oh,
champions. I'm
yo.
gonna give a shout out to you. And if it's all right with you, that's gonna be my dude of the week as well. I know it's early in the show, but I'm gonna throw my dude of the week out right now.
Yeah, that's a good one, right? Because it's in everything that we love: community, people coming together for the sake of sport, competition, but for something else that's bigger than that. I mean, you just got to open up the heart and say, "Yeah, that's pretty amazing to see." Is Qual
Speaking
doing uh,
Quauk
any?
is doing the Quauk is doing the Jant as well. He's in Langley. He's done a few games already. If you get a chance, G, I gave you the YouTube link
Yeah.
earlier. If you get a chance, he's very funny. He loves to do it. and
man.
he's great at it. So if you want to hit
Mhm.
up that on the YouTube channel, it's Quaxw. QWAXW
Hmm.
is where you'll find that. I spelt it because let's face it, you're gonna need help spelling it. Um, uh, but I just had to give a shout out to our high school girls basketball team,
That's so cool. Yeah.
and we're the provincial champs. It's gonna be a once in a lifetime run, I think, but we'll take it.
Yeah. Man, one of these days you'll have to give me like a mini breakdown history of basketball in Belcoola, Newhall. Like, why is it so special there? I know in obviously a lot of communities here in BC, but I've always heard and kind of just felt like Newhall had a very special connection to basketball.
We'll do it.
And
We'll do a shorter podcast on that. We'll
yeah,
do an exclusive podcast on that where that's all we talk about. How about that?
that'd be super cool, man. And hey, maybe we could even get a 5-minute interview with a Rolla or a Quaxw talking about it, because I remember him lighting me up about doing some of those games and his commentary with
His idiosyncrasies, yeah. I
oh
love
and
doing
yeah.
games with Crow.
Oh,
I
he
love
just
it.
like the kid came out in him, and he just but super engaged in every bit of the game, treated it with the utmost seriousness and respect. It was like I
Oh,
hadn't seen or heard anything like it. It was pretty cool.
speaking of rollers, should we let the cat out of the bag? Speaking of rollers, should we let the cat out of the bag?
I think we got to let
We hang
that
on
one
to that one.
simmer just until it unveils itself. You know
Until we got something official.
what I'm
But I'm gonna tell you, we got something coming for y'all.
saying? Hmm.
As a little thank you. And we've kind of commissioned Rolla to do it. So
So if you
we
know
know it's
what's up, you
coming.
know what's up.
And much love to Rolla. And if you want to check out Rolla's music, it's Rolla Mac on YouTube. You'll find
Hmm.
it. A couple of recommendations from me. All we need, Under Attack, and if you want to laugh, there's no better song than Chester's to do it. Those are my three recommendations. Rolla, that's my tip of the cap to you, brother. And
Yo, yeah,
Rolla
that's
Mac on YouTube.
man. Should have got him performing at something at the LEC with all these basketball teams down here. Maybe throw that out there for next year, because yeah, that guy's something special that more people deserve to hear.
By the way, one more shout out to women's professional sports because this came down today.
Hmm.
The WNBA is ratifying their deal. They're gonna have a season. The WNBA is back. I know a lot of people are gonna kind of snicker at that and say, you know what, they're kind of being prima donnas. But anything, here's the thing: anything that elevates women's professional sports is a good thing. It's
I guess
good for
that'd be the question.
basketball.
Yeah, yeah.
It's good for basketball. It's good for little girls to have people to look up to. It's good to have for them to have something to shoot for. It's good
Hmm.
for them to get an opportunity to play the game that you and I love so much.
Hey man, it brought
Nothing
us
but
together. One of the closest friends that it's just, and that was one of the immediate bonding things. So yeah, I see what you're saying.
and women should get to enjoy sports as much as men do. So WNBA, tip of the cap for getting the deal done, and I can't wait for the summer to see what the season brings.
Yeah, yeah. I'm nervous about it, but I'm gonna follow your positive energy on this one and go, yeah, there's some amazing competitors, and if that can just be the main thing, let the main thing be the main thing, it'll be a really good thing.
Actually, is that a problem in the NBA? Does the NBA have a problem with letting the main thing be the main thing anymore?
Hey, that's a perfect segue back to that initial, I think, nugget that you could be talking about for a long time is the NBA got a competition problem sort of going on that they don't know how to solve. And NHL's a little bit like this too, man. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I've heard so many players getting shut down because they're too valuable to have an injury and screw up their possible trade value, if you're not making the playoffs. But if you're too valuable to trade or you're not good enough though to make us in the playoffs. So how valuable could you possibly be?
Well, that's the thing, and here I'll explain this, okay? Because what ends up happening is good players sign with bad teams. The difference in the NHL is there's more of an urgency to buy at the trade deadline. That's something we don't see a lot in the NBA. A lot of the times in the NBA, I'll try to make this point as short as possible, but it's kind of a long one. But G, you'll back me up on this. A lot of times in the NBA, when the rosters are set in October, that's kind of your roster for the whole year. There's not a whole heck of a lot of movement in the NBA. The difference in the NHL is they have a system where you can accrue cap space if you don't spend your money. So if you have 2 million at the start of the year, that could accrue to like 8 million by the trade deadline. And that's why you can see a big player move easier in the NHL than in the NBA because they accrue cap space throughout the year. It's not a stagnant thing. So if you paid 3 quarters of the year, your cap is shrinking for the amount of cap that you have to take on to acquire that player.
Okay, that makes sense in a strategy point of view type of thing. But hearing guys like, oh, shut them down, like the Giannis is the example I'm thinking of in the NBA, where he's like, nah, I'm going to play for my fans and my pride. Sorry. And the organization's like, yeah, but we got hundreds of millions of dollars that we're kind of trying to balance and move. So we'd like you to not. So when your employer is telling you don't come to work, but keep taking the check, and you're a guy that kind of prides himself on working for his money, what is like, should we just end the season right now because this is the point where it shows that teams can or can't make the playoffs, so their best players are getting shut down, they're going for tanks and stuff, like maybe this is the natural end of the season here.
But see, this is my problem, and I'm sorry to keep bringing up past topics on the podcast, but they keep becoming relevant. This was my problem when they announced the play-in because I remember, and I know I took a lot of heat for this because the Mavericks got Derek Lively, and they're like, "See, we got Lively because we missed the play-in." But my philosophy, and this goes back to my culture thing, this is not me picking on the Mavs. It could have been the Lakers. It could have been the Celtics. It could have been anybody. The fact that you have a chance, never mind a good chance, you're going to end up playing the Thunder or whatever, you still got a chance. And you are willing to forego that chance, you're a loser. I'm sorry. I'm going to call it like it is. If you have a if you're the 10 seed and you're like, we got to beat these two teams to get into the play-in, and then we got to go to Oklahoma City, so we're going to set our best player for 2 games so that we miss the playoffs, so that we get a better draft pick. That pisses me off because that's not the intention. And if you have a shot, even if it's 1.5%, you have to take it because guess what? Playoff opportunities don't come around every year. You could have drafted, look, like I said with the Pelicans, when they drafted Zion, they had big plans. They haven't done nothing since he's been there. You have to take every playoff opportunity with it, and as much of a force as a farce as I think this is, the fact that you had a play-in spot and you willingly gave it up is an embarrassment and an indictment to the league itself. And I really do not like that
Hey man, said it
because
well.
you're spreading a culture of losing. And if you are willing to sit your best player when you're in a play-in spot, you are a loser and you have a loser's mentality. And I don't want to be there.
And where's Derek Lively been? Not to harp on him specifically, but as the example, it's like, so he got injured and disappeared anyways, and you made that crazy decision to insult your fans and the sport and the whole spirit of it for a guy that, oops, didn't work out.
And I'm not saying Luka would have won either of those 2 games, but you got to let him try.
Hey, imagine those Slovenian fans that had flown all the way over. It would have been like me going to see the Seattle thing, except going overseas to see it. And I'm all excited to see Dirk and stuff. And then, oh, actually, the Mavs shut down Dirk for the night, for the next 2 nights, for the rest of the thing because we got business to take care of. I'd be like, yeah, but could you do that later so I can actually just watch the guy who's sitting there healthy, ready to play basketball, and I flew all
Yeah,
this way, you know?
and here's the thing:
Yeah.
people will make this argument because I can already hear the comment section. I can already hear them saying, "Mo, it's best for the franchise." A losing culture is not best for anybody.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I
You
think
know,
that's the maybe two like the philosophies that will be at war for the next while is the Cuban side of, hey, this is business, baby, you got to do what you got to do, and then the sports competition people that are like, easy, we love the fun energy, but this whole like destroying the spirit of competition is not okay.
see,
You know,
well, see, I would have no problem with the play-in if the number 10 seed would compete,
yeah, but
right?
like
But when
Chicago taking the 10 seed for the 4th year in the row or something, it's like they're just not even bad enough to tank. They're not good enough to care. No skin in the game. They just are coasting in this
they're just
weird
there,
oblivion.
that's why my argument when they say play-in makes the basketball more exciting towards the end. My argument is this: if you're not good enough to be in the top 8 after 82 games, why are you still playing basketball?
That's it. You know, yeah. I think we
Sorry for
definitely
the
have
rant,
like
buddy.
a, hey man, it's on a lot of people's minds, and that's one of the things that draws people away from the sport, right? And why people get so excited about NCAA and stuff is because the money got almost too big and too influential. It's like with art and things like that, we start equating, hey, if you're a good artist, it means you make lots of money. And that's just not true. It's just like that, those two things don't depend on each other. You could be a great artist and make no money. You could make a ton of money and be a horrible artist. And when we start conflating it as, no, it's actually no matter how much money you have, that's going to determine what kind of artist quality we think of you. That's a dangerous road. And same with basketball and sports. When we put money in the sport too much like that,
And can I just say
problem.
two things? I'm going to say one thing about the money thing that you just said, and I'm going to say one thing about about competition. Okay? So here's the basketball thing first, or the money thing first.
Hmm.
And the money thing is this. Money Jim Carrey, who is one of the funniest people on the planet for my money, said when I was broke, I thought I was one of the funniest guys ever. When I started making $20 million a movie, I didn't feel like I was at my best. So you tell me if we're not getting Jim Carrey as he feels at his best when he's making $20 million a movie, what the heck is he doing in those comedy clubs? I want to see those videos now for just because he said it, not because I'm saying it,
Yeah.
but because he said it. I want to see what those comedy clubs were like
Oh
before he
man.
got famous. That
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Oh,
that's the thing that I love. That's the thing that I want. I want the drive to be like, hey, I know you guys think I'm great, but you didn't even see me at my best.
where I was
That's the
grinding for the
competition.
sake of it, right? The guy that was just putting in 50 at the gym because that's what he do. It's
That's what he does.
oh man, I
And
heard Damon Wayans was it that was talking about some of those stories in the early days with Jim Carrey where they would essentially treat it almost like an open gym. Like, all right, come on, Jim, we got to go down to the club, and they'd come in with cold sets every time and compete every night just to be like, can I make you laugh harder? And man, what a cool thing to imagine that, yeah, Jim Carrey making no money, going into the club with Wayans and being like, you're not ready for this one, buddy, and then going up on stage and doing something just beyond, right? I've heard stories of some of the sets he's done, and like there was one, I think they said everybody left. It was like, it was so so like he was just getting
that's
so
it.
aggressive with it, and it's just,
That's it.
yeah.
It's like the basketball practice that gets too intense because everybody's trying to prove something, right?
Yeah, and you'd almost prefer that at the end of the day if it's only happening occasionally than the opposite, where guys are more worried about who's watching and is somebody going to take this on Instagram and make fun of me or something like that. And there's all these thoughts around
Here's
how you look, I guess.
and for those of you who are saying, Mo, you take this too seriously, right? Like you take this game too seriously. And you know what? I'll admit sometimes I do. But I will also say this. Gee. Okay, we're at 170 subscribers the last I saw today.
Damn.
When I was checking the numbers. Because it's my first day back, really. Let's call a spade a spade. It's my first day back. But I will say this. As far as the competition thing goes, Pablo Torre, I love you. You are one of the greatest people and one of the greatest podcasters in the world today, in my humble opinion. And take that for what it's worth. But I will also say this, and this is not me challenging Pablo. This is not me punching up in weight class. This is not me trying to start beef with Pablo Torre or anything else, because I respect and admire and love that man. But I will say this, Pablo, we're coming. And my goal is to be mentioned in the same breath of, hey, these guys are as good or if not better than Pablo Torre. And that should always be the goal no matter what you're doing. Be the best at what you want to do. That's my message to everybody out there today. Whether it be podcast, whether it be teaching, whether it be, as the American Dream once said, whether you're the son of a plumber, baby, do it just as best as you can do it. So Pablo, this isn't a warning shot. This is nothing. But as a friendly reminder, we're trying to come get you.
And that's probably the greatest thing you could offer somebody that's been a mentor, like a influence or something. I think it was Scorsese. Yeah. Yes, it was him that said this. He loves his directors. This guy's a nerd for movies, right? He does so many movies, just movies.
Yeah.
And he said he really wanted to honor this director that he was influenced by so much, and the guy mentored him and stuff. He's like, how will I ever repay this? I got to do something for him specific. And he's like, and then I realized the one thing I could do best to honor him in that gift was to make movies. Was to keep making the best movies I could possibly do. And that's the way I could repay him. That's what it was. He was like, how could I ever repay this debt from the influence of these guys? And he's like, oh, just by taking my shit seriously and giving it back. And
that's why I'm back.
Yo, that's it, man.
I'm back. I'm back. I'm motivated and I'm ready. And Pablo, like I said, this is not a shot. I'm so small, you're probably not even going to see this episode. But I will say
until
this.
Years later when we pull it back up when we're really big.
But I will say this. We're coming. And I know it's on us to be more consistent than we have been. But notice, gee, I don't mean to call you out, but you're playing hurt today. That's how much this means to us.
This is true, but yeah, man, I think there's something to be said about just doing what you do, and then there's nothing really in the way that makes it like,
And that was really my point, was do what you love to do, but if you're gonna do it, go all in with it. Like I said, when I do YouTube, I'm all in. Like you've seen my setup at the house, G. I got the microphone, I got the webcam, I got StreamYard, I got free plug for StreamYard, I guess, because I'm just handing them out today. But yeah. I prepare myself like I'm the best because I want to be the best.
Hey, man.
And that's what it is, dude.
Speaking of goats, this is a perfect transition. Well, how dare you ever demean passion? Passion is like romance. You can't be talking trash about it, even though it's cheesy, this and that. It's like, but that's that's the fuel. So we can't look down on passion, man. That's it. And ooh, what was it I was going to say on? Lost it there.
You said
But
something about goats.
oh yeah, the greatest of all time, Coach K was on Pat McAfee this morning. And I love that intersection, right? Because it's two guys that take their shit seriously in very different ways, but aren't afraid to give their all, no matter what it shows up as, right? Coach K is not sure what he's walking into when Connor starts asking him questions and stuff like that, but he's ready for it. He's done his work. He's ready to. He's bantering with the boys, right? Because he's the greatest at what he does, and so is Pat. And at the end of the episode, Pat goes, "All right, everything that you just said, Coach, is true if I hit this shot." He goes and grabs the ball up to his desk there for the big hoop that's like ways away in the Thunderdome. And he's like, but if it don't make it, then it's all crap and you're fired. Says this to Coach K. Boom. Nails the shot.
Of course he did, right?
And I've been watching this week. He's shanked, I think, each shot before, and then today when he made it a big deal, he's like, this is the universe. This is the universe. But that's two guys that are greatest at what they do. And they're just kind of bringing that energy that you reminded me of there, no matter what setting. Yeah.
Just bring the energy. And,
Yeah.
you know, I have to apologize because I've been so unfair to my YouTube audience over the last 6 years. And I take accountability for that. But rest assured, this is going to be the best version of me you're going to see from this point forward.
And you can't force something too, right? You can't force a chicken to be cooked before it's cooked. Some things take their own time, and it just reveals itself as the timeline goes.
And you know why I'm feeling so sentimental today? I checked the analytics today, like I said, because it's my first day back, and I wanted to see where I was at. Do you realize that when that Larry Bird video hit live, that was 300 videos?
Oh, shit. That's a big deal, man. That's a milestone. Congrats.
It was the Cosmos telling me to come. Remember, I told you yesterday, I'm getting that itch, G.
Man, when you start tuning in, it's like the noise is getting quieter so you can hear the message clearer of what you're supposed to do sometimes, right? And maybe this is one of those times the noise is getting quieter and you're able to hear that message clearly.
Like one thing that I will say, and I'll relate this to basketball, and this is why I'm so passionate about this tonight, is when I realized that it was my 300 video today, or maybe it was 299 today, and this will be 300 tomorrow. But either way, I was like, I've put 7 years into this YouTube channel, right? Sporadically. But I was like, 300 videos, that must be hours and hours and hours of content. And I looked at that and I was like, I gave my best in all those things. But at the same time, it's kind of a waste because I wasn't committed to those hours, to that time, to that energy. And I think the 300 videos just kind of woke me up to, if you're going to invest in this, you better make the most of it. Whether it's 170 or 100,000 subscribers, you better make the most of the time that you've got here. And
Amen.
This is why this is my second video of the day, and I got a Tim Duncan retrospective ready to go. I'll tell you how bad it was. When I went back to check the analytics, my Dwayne Wade video that I told you I was thinking about doing, I had done before I left. That's how bad it's gotten for me.
And you can look at it as bad, but if it helps you stay motivated, but I think sometimes it is just the grist of the mill that needed to be ground so that you could get to this point. Because when we start chopping off that experience of dullness, this or that, then it's sort of like you're removing pieces that are essential to the whole journey.
But here's how it relates to the NBA. A lot of teams do that. They remove essential pieces that they need for the journey.
Hey, Detroit's a great example. They could have seen that, lost the most games ever and kind of just, but they found a way to turn the corner. So all those years of losing now look like uh, something that was,
Looks like it was worth it now.
yeah. And what a story. Like if they continue to grow like this from the most losing basketball team all time to being a respected number one in the East.
And it works the other way too. And I keep harping on this, and maybe this is a flashback episode, but I keep going back to you fired Adrian Griffin,
Oh, the
and the Bucks
Bucks.
haven't been the same since. I'm not gonna harp on
Mhm.
it because there's no point on it, but I will say the Bucks haven't been the same since. And you know what? Serves you right. That's your cosmic karma right there.
Hey, exactly. Those are very, A to B things that you can match and go, I can see why that was a horrible decision and kind of killed what was going on. It was like somebody that's making a great stew. The bistro's cooking. Oh, that soup is nice. Is it ready, Graham? And I'm like, wait,
Not yet. 5
I
more
don't know
minutes.
if it's quite ready. And then I start putting in this other stuff and I'm sweating and going, actually, no. I need to. Well, now you ruined the soup, G.
Yeah.
And I've done that, man. I've done that. And it's trusting in the spirit, trusting in that thing that's so hard to do, because when it's boring and lame and stuff, it really makes you think like, oh, why am I even doing something like this? Does it matter? And then if you're being honest with yourself, it will come to you and tell you whether that matters, right? Is that a part of
see,
you or not?
I think that's what the retrospective day is. And thank you for listening to all my rants today, because I know I've kind of taken a break from the basketball thing. But what happened to me today was when I saw that 300 or the potential for 300, I was like, I've put a lot of time in this in a directionalist way. And that's kind of what I was upset about. It wasn't the time that I felt like, I put into it and I was like, gee, I didn't get very far. It was the fact that I did it in a directionless way,
Or what
and
you
I'm just
thought was
now
directionless until you can look back and see
as like, wow, I've built up a content library here that I didn't appreciate until today.
that's it, man. Sometimes we don't know that we actually have had direction. And it's only until you step way back and see that, okay, yeah, when I thought I was slacking, it was actually me doing this, building this. And it's got me to here. And man, if you can't appreciate those parts of the journey of directionless times, then you're never going to appreciate the results of it. And it's kind of like that bitter thing. Maybe we're coming to the
It's
end
that
here, and I think I got a
bittersweet
good
moment.
one. Shaq and Luca came to my mind today because there are some boys talking on the radio, Antonio Daniels and stuff, about, hey man, if Shaq had just worked out, do you know how dominant that man would have been? Like if he was in even like half good shape or good shape on some of those years, do you know how terrifying him and the Lakers would have been? And they're like, oh yeah, no doubt, da 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 da. But that cued my thought on something, man, that we were talking about the other night. And it's like, as much as people hate that shit about Luca, like I'm in recovery from the Luca, the haters club, and I'm trying to, see outside of it. And suddenly it hit me. Yeah, all that complaining to the ref, all that lazy, all the things that you could say are knocks against him and be valid are actually what makes him Luca, and it's what makes him great. Because you can't separate the bad from the good in a person, because they're actually all one thing.
Well, we had this
So if you tried to
conversation the
take
other
that
day
away
about
from Shaq, then Shaq doesn't exist, right? Shaq needed to be a lazy, egotistical bum sometimes to allow for Shaq to exist. You know what I mean? You can't go about
and you know
just
what?
carving out people's,
Because if Shaq was that intense, would he be the same fun-loving guy he is now?
Exactly, man. And would he have been able to stay motivated at different times? Maybe he would have had a mental break and said, fuck it entirely. I can't play basketball. So we can't just go about trying to take away the bad parts of people that we don't like about them just so we can have only the good. Like, oh, if Mo could just stop doing these things. it's like then we're just actually punishing ourselves from appreciating who's on the floor right now, who's in front of us right now. That's what matters. And
I'm guilty of that with LeBron. I will tell you straight up that I didn't appreciate LeBron's career the way I should have.
Mhm.
Because I spent too much time defending Michael, and that's not what it should be about. We should be able to, as fans, and this is kind of my open apology to LeBron fans, because like you, I'm in recovery for that same haters club, and I'm gonna try to make amends here a little bit. And you know what? I'm gonna say this too, just to get this out of the way. It doesn't matter whether you think Michael's the GOAT or LeBron's the GOAT. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. It's all barbershop talk to begin with. But I will say this about LeBron. Yeah, I complain about this, that, and the other when it comes to LeBron. But to just step back and just as a basketball fan be like, this dude was one of the greatest people that ever lived to play the game. Whether you think he's 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, doesn't matter. We should just appreciate the fact that he's on the floor sharing his gifts with us. And yeah, so that's my olive branch to LeBron fans of I didn't take enough advantage of appreciating LeBron when he was younger. And like I said, the GOAT debate doesn't matter. We should just appreciate the greatness that's in front of us as we speak. Because guess what? He's still there. He's still slamming, jamming, and being LeBron at 41, which is absolutely remarkable. So yeah, I'm like you. I'm in that recovering haters club too, because we should just appreciate greatness.
Yeah, and appreciate the fact that greatness doesn't come without its opposite. Like there has
But
to be a
I will
horrible part of him for him to be great. Otherwise, we're talking about a
I will
make-believe
say this
person.
though too. I will say this though too. To balance out, like to to just balance it out. Greatness does not come without criticism. I don't care who you are.
That's it. That's it. Because we're all going to have faults, and some of those criticisms are going to be right on point. Like everything that I've said about Luca is probably true, but it shouldn't have
Probably
stopped.
true.
It shouldn't have stopped me from loving all the good things about him. And
No,
so,
and
he's my dude of the
and
week.
that's and that's what I had to do with LeBron. Like I had to step back and be like, yeah, this irritates me, but I really got to because I saw a play earlier tonight. He's still throwing it down like he's 25, not as often, but LeBron's still throwing it down like he's 25.
If I was the Western Conference, especially a team like the Spurs, who thought I had an edge coming in as this young team, if I was watching LeBron play right now at the Lakers, I'd be like, oh man, I guess not this year. Because he's on. You saw that mission look, right? That guy's on a mission, and once that's on,
Yeah.
he's a big dude to try to move and stop. And I've seen that in Luca too. When he's on the mission, it's something to behold, right?
Well,
So it's
I'm gonna say this. There like we said earlier on the phone call too. There's two Lucas. There's the Luca that you can irritate, who's gonna complain to the refs and get himself in trouble. But then there's the Luca. If you do that the wrong way, Luca's gonna be like, uh-huh, okay. Now I'm gonna go
51.
get my 55,
Mhm.
and this loss is gonna be on you. Like
And made
so
it public too. Yeah.
so there you go.
And honestly,
Yeah,
when you say there's two Lucas, I agree, but it's just because they wear different masks occasionally. Because
that's
truly,
true.
it's the one dude that love him or hate him, he's going to have things you love and things you hate. But if you can love the
And
whole
and
package,
and I
God
know
bless.
people are gonna talk about Luca's defensive ability.
What
And I
defensive
agree.
ability?
That's my point. But what I'm gonna say is this. He's trying harder as a Laker than he ever did in Dallas.
Hmm.
And as far as that, I know his defensive efficiency. His defension his inefficiency on defense will always be there. So all I ever ask of Luca is effort.
And to be
Right? I
the
don't
most
care.
himself he can at that moment, right?
Yes. Just give me everything you've got. That's
Yeah.
all I
The
that's
good, the
all I
bad,
ask.
bring the whole package, and if it falls short, then it falls short. But you brought the whole package, the good, the bad, the ugly, because that's all you can do.
And like I said, that's how I feel about LeBron now too, is like, I'm just going to appreciate this because I don't know how much longer I have to watch this. And I've been fortunate. I've been fortunate in the fact that I got to see Jordan in the prime of his career, and I got to see the entirety of LeBron's career.
Man.
Now, take that for what it's worth to anybody who knows anything about basketball. But I'm just grateful that I got to see two of the greatest do it at the highest ability possible, that I was blessed enough to see that. That is my awakening for basketball.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Think how much positive things have happened because of that.
You know, and I like I said, I'm making peace with the LeBron fans because it's time for it to end. It doesn't. The debate doesn't matter. It's the legendary status that does. That's my opinion on it.
Absolutely. And, you know, for the sake of it, MJ feels like he's just got that spot just there. But then again, it's all about who's saying that, who's controlling that narrative and stuff. So as long as we've been alive, there's no challengers. There's LeBron as like, oh, okay, cool. But nobody's ever actually shook that tree for us, for our narrative, right? Because we've just known one.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, we're talking barbershop here.
That's it.
You know, and we are all, and here's the other perspective I look at it from when we're talking about the GOAT debate, is people watch the game differently. You know, two people can watch the same game and have two completely different viewpoints on what's happening. So that has to be accounted for as well.
You know who the BMF is, though, right now? Like, just hands down, I think, in my view, from the way I watch the game, based on what you're saying there, like, from what I'm seeing in my mind, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the baddest mama that is in the league right now, man. Just look at that consistency, the poise, the teamwork, the gangster. Oh, yes, please.
Can I say something about Shai that's gonna kind of like be funny but not funny? You just talked about the poise of Shai, and this is gonna sound like a knock against that, but it's really not, because for the first time ever last Sunday, when they were playing the Timberwolves on ABC, I watched the first quarter. You didn't, because you were busy taking care of business. But it was the first time. It was the first time in Shai's career that I'd ever seen him rattle. First time ever. So that poise you're talking about, yeah, it's real. And the fact that he got rattled twice in the same quarter, I'm chalking that up to a bad day. Everybody's entitled to a bad day. I'm not gonna put Shai in a category because he whined over two calls. Like Shai, the poise of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is remarkable because he's been in the league for X number of years now, and he's been a Clipper, which would drive anybody crazy.
That's a stink some people don't get off, you know what I'm saying?
And he's been a Thunder. Yeah, just ask Playoff P about that.
Who?
Ooh, there's the shot of the week right there.
Oh yeah.
But Shai is the. You know how they say boss battles? He's the final boss right now.
He really is. He's like the secret scariest athlete in the world because he's so chill in terms of like what that ego usually comes with in terms of the body, the action, the He's kind of the opposite. So it's so hard to process when you're watching this guy like, oh, right, he's decimating everybody in his path every single night. He's the best player on the best team 2-3 years running. It's unbelievable to watch, man. We're so
and he's so poised that when he does have a bad day, we give him a pass. That's how it.
Oh yeah,
that's how impressive he is.
And seeing the team rally around him and how much they love him and how much he loves them feels very genuine too. And those are the best things about sports: building a little community,
man.
Hell,
anyway, We better touch on this because we named the podcast this
We name
Contenders and Pretenders. Now, Nick Wright said the Lakers demand respect because if you're gonna put other teams in the conversation, other than I think he said Boston, Oklahoma, and that was it really.
Denver.
He threw San he threw San Antonio in as a kind of a courtesy,
That's insulting to
but he,
Denver. The greatest player outside of Shea has got something to
but
say about
but
that.
but he said if you're gonna include Denver, you got to include the Lakers. If you're gonna include the Knicks, you got to include the Lakers. Like he was couching his opinion, and I don't. And here's something I'm gonna say that I don't like Nick Wright's podcast, but I listen because you got to know what other people are up to in your space, and that's the other advice I have. If you're a YouTuber or anything like that in your niche, like right now we're a sports niche, but if you're in the music niche or whatever, look at what your competition's doing.
Hmm.
Always keep an eye on what your competition's doing.
Hmm.
And the fact that he said if you're gonna include Denver, you gotta include the Lakers. That's kind of like I don't know, Nick. You're trying to get away with a little too much there.
Yeah, how are you trying to frame it? I guess this may be the question. But to me, contenders, after watching the last few Lakers games,
Hey,
as much as there is some ugliness, they've got the X factor, man. They've got two guys.
seventh in a row tonight against Houston. They
Yeah.
did win tonight, 124-116.
And the mental slash
Seventh in a row.
physical toughness of LeBron to just kind of like San Antonio, man, they're going to try so hard against the Lakers. They're going to try so hard. And they're going to lose.
Here's the thing about tonight's game that was so important too. The Lakers now not only have a 2.5 game lead over the Rockets, they also have the tiebreaker now.
Man, there's a pretender for you in Houston. That's number one.
And it's funny because if you go back to the beginning of the season, what was one of the teams we were so high on? And I'm going to throw myself in that as well. We were so high on this Rockets team.
There was a lot of people high on that Rockets team, man.
And they just don't. They don't look the same. I'm going to throw it to you on this one, G. What happened to this Rockets team?
It just hit me like a lightning bolt because things fall downhill, right? So the owner is a kind of a Trump guy. He likes to make noise, likes to be very boisterous. He's got a very big personality, right? The owner manager thing, you start going down the thing, and it's like there's not a lot of maturity here. Udoka gets fired for, you know what I'm saying? Stuff he knew was wrong.
If you want to know, look it up. We'll just
like we'll stuff that there. If you're a professional that is like I am, mature and taking my team seriously. I don't think Mark Daigneault is going to be in the headlines next year for what Udoka was. You know what I'm saying? The OKC coach. He's not necessarily going to be in that. So the maturity factor, I think, is Houston's missing thing. And for a guy like KD, he's the wandering samurai. He needs a shogun. He needs somebody that's the ruler of the kingdom. And he's like, I'm the wandering samurai that can kill anybody. But I need a shogun to fight for. And man, in Houston, it's like you can just see it. Like Torrey Eason, this Finney Smith, the worst versions of themselves were coming up in those games. And
I got a question about that because I was kind of upset that we lost Dorian Finney-Smith because he played relatively well as a Laker last year. He gets to Houston and you don't hear nothing about him. I don't quite understand that.
One day we'll have to take a look at my basketball theory on this because I think it lines up with everything I believe on culture. When you have good culture and it fits, you're getting the best version of that person because it was chosen for that thing. Like McCain, he was on the end of the Sixers bench being told, sorry, not today. OKC said, hey, come here for a second, man. You want to play some minutes? Go ahead. Puts in 5 threes first game. The best version of themselves are brought when they're in a healthy environment. So OKC guy, let's say AJ Mitchell goes to Minnesota next year. I will promise you won't hear AJ Mitchell's name for a little while. You know what I'm saying?
Can I bring this to my kingdom then? Can I ask you a question about my kingdom?
Yes, sir.
With my guy, And I can say this because G will back me up on this. Nobody's backed this guy harder than me. And I'm talking about the kid from Arkansas again. AR-47. But my question to you, G, is as a free agent possibility, would it be wrong for AR-47 to leave the Lakers when he's having so much success and he fits so well? And it just seems to be that perfect fit that you're talking about. Would it be a mistake from AR-47 to not take a massive discount, but to take a slight discount to stay in Hollywood where he's been successful? Or would you be okay with him taking a shot elsewhere? Where do you sit on that whole?
One question: does your family need the money?
No, he's a Laker.
Then better tattoo that Laker thing on me, baby, because that's where it's at. You know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody brought the best version out of you just because you're around them and you worked around them and stuff, but somebody said, hey, you could go work over there, but you know what over there is like. They're really kind of not very mature and stuff, but they'll pay you double. You go, oh,
Yeah, that's
like, how bad do I need the money? Is it a status thing because I want to be seen as somebody that gets blah, blah, blah? Because I think that's what it is for a lot of the NBA guys. They don't want to be seen as taking less because then it's like you're demeaning yourself or something. But if I'm Alex Caruso and I'm on OKC and next year they're like, hey, we got to take a pay cut. And I know you just helped us win another chip, but we got to pay some other people. We got to get you down under the cap. So can you take a hit? And Caruso's getting a call from Lakers. And they're saying, we'll pay you double right now. You could play with Luka. You get to do. And so if you're Caruso, in my mind, I would be looking at the environment. It's like, who's going to bring out the best version of me, not who's going to pay me the most. Because I got to hang out with these guys every day. I got to fight for these guys every day. And if I don't have a connection, how bad do you need the money?
And can I give you a compliment here while we're still recording? That's why you're my co-host, because we don't make a dime off of this thing yet.
Say it don't cost no money.
And I'm gonna put that out there. We're not making anything off of this yet, and I'm gonna put that yet in there because I believe in us. But the reason you're my co-host is for that very reason. I believe you bring the best out in me, because there's nothing worse than having a podcast where people have two identical ideologies. The thing that makes us great and the thing that makes us work is we both make each other think about things from the other perspective. It would be a much more boring podcast if you and I agreed on everything.
Or if everything was pre-scripted and pre-done and all this,
Like there's no script for this show. This is just me and you talking basketball. But the reason you are my co-host, you specifically, and I hope you take this as a compliment it's meant for, is that I would go through that wall for you. I would play for the guy beside me because I believe the guy beside me is playing for me too. And that's what I mean. If ESPN came and said, "Hey Mo, we can take you, but we're not taking G," I'd be like, well, yeah, okay, we could do that, but you're not going to get the same Mo without G.
Could you imagine Pat McAfee cutting his show in half just to fit into ESPN back in the day when they offered it to him?
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like,
what a loss that would have been.
This show works better with you than without you.
Mm.
And I hope you take that as a compliment that it's meant to be.
Oh, how could I not, man? Absolutely. And it speaks to the whole thing that we've been talking about is where do you feel like you're bringing the best version of yourself and what allows you to do that the most. If you're lucky enough to have an environment that encourages that, friends that encourage that and stuff, those are the things that I think people sometimes take for granted without realizing it, me included. So good shout out on that, man, because I feel the same obviously about this, and you is like, hey, you get to activate a part of me that sometimes is just not active.
And I agree with what you're saying. I wouldn't blame Caruso for staying in Oklahoma City, but I will say this. It would be more fun if he went to the Lakers.
And you know what?
And
If I got the word that I'm Caruso, and I got the word that they're great guys now, there's that it's a good vibe. You're like, it's tough, but it's a good vibe. Well, then I'm going to LA.
because he's been a Laker before,
Oh yeah, and they love
and
him. You guys love him,
and
right?
I love him. I don't know how the rest of the Laker Nation feels about him, but
He's a
and
dog,
Caruso, it's
man.
not about the points. It's about the defensive capabilities. It's about what he brings to the table that's different.
A
See, that's
toughness
the thing.
factor of 10.
I'm gonna steal one from you, G. It's like it's like when you're going to war and you have every weapon you need except for that bazooka. And this is how you explained it to me with the Ivy trade. When I was like, why would you give up this guy for this guy? And you're like, sometimes you just need that bazooka. Like sometimes you just need that
Kevin,
thing that you don't have, and
Red
sometimes you
Velvet.
have to and sometimes you have to overpay to get it.
Hmm.
And the reason I say it would be more fun is because I kind of want to see that OKC team, and not just because I'm a Laker fan, but because I'm a basketball fan. I kind of want to see pieces be stripped away just to not only A, balance out the league, but B, if we start taking pieces, because here's another thing I learned last Sunday: the Thunder are flawed, but here's the thing: it's their shooting that is their flaw. And here's why and I'm gonna this is why you should tune into this podcast, because I'm gonna give you analysis that I picked up on that maybe other people have too, but I'm just gonna take credit for it. The reason we don't see the flaws in their shooting ability the way we should is because they got Harkenstein and they've got Holmgren that clean up the boards so that when they get their third, fourth, fifth, sixth opportunity, you're like, oh man, the Thunder just blew somebody out by 20. They look amazing. Their flaw is their shooting. The difference is they have the guys that clean up the board so we don't notice their flaw.
Even
But it does
Caruso's
exist.
getting boards out of nowhere, right? Just the flying eagle.
That's that That's what I mean. I'd love to see pieces kind of be stripped away to not only balance out the league, because I'll be honest, Caruso doesn't have to go to the Lakers. Caruso could go anywhere and be effective. And I'd just like to see A, the balance in the league, and B, I'd like to see what happens to Shea when he gets a little bit uncomfortable. You know,
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not questioning his greatness at all. But what I'm saying is I'd like to see what happens to Shea when Shea's a little bit uncomfortable.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things that what if this team just brings out the best in everybody? So Caruso leaves, he's still Caruso, he's great, but he's not
He's
maybe
not the
doing the
Caruso.
little things that he was doing in the past or whatever. And let's say a guy like Jay Will, like the third one down, not the number one Jay
Yeah,
Will, but like the guy with the dreads, bigger guy, doesn't necessarily play a ton, but he does. I don't think he would be heard of anywhere. He wouldn't get a chance. People would be like, "Ah, too many rough edges. His three's just not right. He's a big guy, but is he in OKC? Man, he's sometimes just that dude that you're like, man, how did they get this guy? And he's just a guy, but the best version of him gets brought out on that team. So you could strip away parts, but then you add parts that have been stripped, and now you're getting the best part of those new parts. So you'd never heard of McCain. Well, here he comes, and 20 points a game, all right?
that's what I'm saying, right? Like
So
I just
anybody
want
you
to
put
see,
onto a culture like that, who
and
knows?
this is why I was so hard on the Mavericks earlier. It wasn't because you threw the two games of the play-in. It's because of the culture you're establishing that it's okay to lose.
Exactly. Exactly. And it just shows. It really does show how culture influences that just by how many guys OKC have now as names. Because you're just guy before, in Galaxy Quest, where he's like, I don't even have a name. And they're like, you do. You have a name. He's like, what? What is it? Guy? Yeah, guy.
I'm gonna throw another name out there. Okay, and I'm gonna prove your point for you here in just a second. Because if for people who don't remember, Harkenstein was in New York, and he
The
was a
first time
decent
people heard of
player.
him. Even then, it was
And he
quiet
was a decent
profile.
player.
Yeah.
He was. He was doing all the things he did in OKC. He's doing in New York.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't hear about Harkenstein's name until he got to Oklahoma City because they needed that type of player,
Mm.
and they got one in Harkenstein.
Yeah.
And the thing is, everybody acts like Harkenstein is a great player, which he is. But to your point, when he was in New York, everybody was just like, "Oh yeah, he's good," but it's the
But he
Knicks,
doesn't shoot
and
the
we can't.
three and blah blah blah. And yeah.
Yeah, and now that he's in OKC, oh, how did they ever do it without this guy? And he's an important piece, and he was
Oh,
doing the
man.
same thing in New York. He was. I will even say this, G. Then you can take this for a hot take all you want if you want to, but he was just as valuable to the Knicks as he is to the Thunder.
I think so too, man. I think the Knicks lost something big when they lost him. Again, from a culture, a personality standpoint and stuff, because Knicks are a team that is built on personality too. And Josh Hart kills me, man. He's such a funny, ruthless kind of friend to have, but he keeps Brunson accountable and he keeps them humble. And that's what you need when you got, all the lights on and you got somebody that likes to hog the ball and all of that stuff. You need accountability to keep it in balance. And if you
May your
lose,
ego come from a place that keeps you humble. I say it all the time.
hey man, I think Sam Presti might be the best puzzle maker in the world.
I think so. I think so.
That's what we're kind of talking about. Is like, how do you make a puzzle so that you get the best picture? And then it's like, oh, these pieces, this is a great piece. When it's in the perfect, great picture, like he's just got such a vision and knowing how to put that together of what piece goes where. Because puzzles are hard, man. Have you ever tried doing one of those like 2,000 piece puzzles?
Oh, I hate those. I give up on
Oh,
those so easily.
and I feel like that's
So,
something that Presti has done with a team, is built this
so
massive
I got.
puzzle.
So we named this podcast "Contenders and Pretenders," and I'm gonna do that right now. NCAA. Do you have any contenders or pretenders, or have you not followed it very much, or
Oh,
what's
I've
your
been
status?
following that more than NBA, to be honest, man. And I'm just going to pull up my bracket here. I thought I
Who's your
took a picture
contender
of
and
it.
who's your pretender?
Yeah, I mean, in Duke, I'm seeing them through too. Raised with that, so I've got that blue blood flowing. So we see them going through to the finals and winning it. But the four that I put was Arkansas,
Uh huh.
Houston,
Yeah.
and geez, can't remember who the last one was. Maybe Michigan State.
Do you
No,
have a Cinderella?
I did, and it was. Well, I'm going for St. Louis, right? That's our guy, Ishan
Oh,
Sharma.
yeah.
We'll revisit him again. And St. John's, I had to cancel out because I heard, just some of those shooting numbers, man. They were going to be my Cinderella, and I was like,
Yeah. Can't do it. Can't do it.
can't do it, man. But kind of blanking on the names right now because there is just so many schools, and you just hear them all day. But hey, I'm setting up to watch a bunch of games tomorrow, and
Hey, 64 games tomorrow. Get your heart ready.
hey, man, suddenly I'm happy to be at home,
Oh no,
kind of
sorry,
sick.
32 games tomorrow.
This is,
I don't want to be. It's 32 games. Oh no, wait. Nope, 16
yeah,
games tomorrow.
16 to 16. Yeah. So 12
16
hours
and
of
16.
basketball for 2 days, both
Hey
days.
man, I'm all for that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. There's some Pennsylvania. They
Yeah.
got in barely. I chose them to win their first game.
Keep an eye on VCU. They got in because they won their tournament. VCU's
I
always
put
the threat.
them ahead. Yeah. UCF over UCLA. I don't even know who UCF is, but I just don't like UCLA right now.
That's fair. And
Yeah.
and on the Big Brother side, we'll say the
Yeah.
NBA
Yeah.
contenders, and give me a couple of pretenders.
Cleveland Cavaliers. Honestly, people are all so high on them right now, but
No, I
next
told
year,
you last year they were shots.
I was going to say Spurs. People are so high on the Spurs this year.
Yeah.
They're my Cleveland of this year type of thing. Like, yeah, they're riding high.
Like how I
They
called
got a
it
guy.
last year.
They got some stuff, but they're going to find out what the buzzsaw is like when they get to Denver, OKC, or Lakers. Like, they're not in the same category yet. So I think they're pretenders.
But they'll get there.
They're acting like they got, half a crown on already, this and that. Victor's the most ethical basketball player that's ever lived. And it's going to take them a couple of years. So I think they're pretending a little bit right now. Houston, pretender. Knicks are a bit of pretenders. They really wanted to try, but I just don't think they have the
Knicks are always
the puzzle's not strong enough. The vision isn't strong. I can't see who they are, right?
Sorry, Spike.
They got more depth this year. I appreciate that, but I just don't think they've done the same team building puzzle vision thing as others. So yeah,
I've got a couple. Out east, I think the Raptors are absolute pretenders. I don't think the Raptors are as good as people think they are, and that hurts my heart to say that. But
I just can't even get into the Raptors these days.
No, and that it shows in how much time we give them on the podcast, right? Like,
it's how much time they get on other sports shows.
Also, I'm just like, out west, the Rockets, I agree with you, are absolute pretenders. Even if they survive a round, they're not getting out of round 2.
Minnesota.
The Bulls are pretenders every year, so they don't even count.
They're my saddest team. It just kills me to watch that franchise dwindle. Anyways. What about Boston? What about Boston? Huh? What's your take as a Laker fan? What do you think of your enemy Boston? Because I don't like them, but I like what they're doing.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this right now, because even though I'm the Lakers fan club president, I'm gonna say this, and you're gonna have.
I lose that right quick. Gonna have a
Oklahoma City, Boston Celtics, NBA Finals.
Man, that's my picks too. Dead on. That's it. They've got the maturity. Like, all the good things I say about OKC could apply to Boston.
It pains me to say that, but I got to be real. Because if I'm not real on the podcast, you can't. If you can't validate my prediction for the finals, you can't validate anything I say on this podcast. So Oklahoma City, Boston will be the NBA Finals.
Absolutely. I think Detroit's not pretending, but they just don't have enough to contending. They're
and it's amazing how a couple of months will change that prediction, because I remember you were pretty bullish on the Pistons.
I still feel like there's a secret sauce there that I'm not turning away from. Like, I got faith that they're not pretending. Like, they've got a serious vision for a championship squad. It's just they don't have that second guy. They need J. Will. They need a second dude to put in 25 a night. Anyways, yeah.
All right, we've been going for an hour and a half, G, so I think we should call it. We've done our dudes of the week. Just as a refresher, mine was the Exalta Thunder Ladies High School Basketball Provincial Champions.
And mine was Luka Doncic.
Yeah, and again, the Lakers have won 7 in a row. And we had this conversation, and we'll just end on this note. I said earlier in the year the Lakers would finish 3rd and have 50 plus wins. Now, both of those things may come true, because the Lakers are at 43 wins already. But here's my conundrum. Even though my Lakers are 3rd in the West currently as we record this, and have 43 wins and are on their way to 50, so both my predictions could end up being right. How come I don't feel as confident in this Laker team as I did at the beginning of the year? Remember, at the beginning of the year, I was like, the Lakers could compete with almost anybody in the West other than Oklahoma City. And I don't feel that confidence going into the playoffs. And I could potentially be right on both accounts.
I'll tell you what, man, it reminds me of like boxing or something like that. When you've got such faith in somebody coming in, you're like, yeah, but can you see this man? Like, I got money on that guy. That guy's going to win and stuff. And then you see him just take a whopping uppercut, and he's down in the second round. He's not out, but you've seen him just take one. Like, you're like, ooh, That's not the same dude I thought 2 rounds ago was going to be in here. Like just from one, and I think the Lakers got uppercutted a couple times this year where they just shot the bed, got beaten down, embarrassed on national TV. And it's like, it's tough to look at them as that super strong Adonis after you've been knocked.
Even though both contradictions become right.
Yeah. And that's it, man. 2 pathways can be true at the same time.
Anyway, it's been
Just
a lot
depends
of
which
fun.
way you're looking.
It's been an hour and a half. Like and subscribe to the channel. G is the beastro of basketball knowledge, and I am the captain of the ship, so to speak, as the network has my name on it. So,
hey, it's
but
fun, yeah.
as always, until next time, may your ego come from a place that keeps you humble. And any last words for the people, G?
Be kind. Rewind. And have some peace throughout your day.
Jack Black on the mind.
Oh man, could anybody have played Nacho Libre other than Jack Black?
There we go. Yeah, absolutely. But on that note, Mamba out. Oh, what happened? Oh, I did. Let's try that again.
The whole thing gone. Oh well.
There we go. Mamba out.